A limit is a y value that you get close to as x gets close to some value. So let's find some limits. This first example, it's asking what is the limit as x approaches -2 of f of x. Now, of course, f of x is just a y value, and it's asking what y value am I getting close to as x gets close to -2? Well, here is the x value -2, and you can see that as I get close to -2 on my function, my y value gets closer and closer to 2. As a matter of fact, it is 2 when x is -2. But again, a limit is just what value are you getting close to. In this case, I'm getting close to the value +2. All right, not too bad. Let's look at the limit as x approaches 1 of my function. So here is the x value 1. What y value am I getting infinitely close to? Looks like I'm getting close to 1/2. Hopefully that's not too bad. This third example, it's asking what is the limit as x approaches 0 of my function. So here is the x value 0. And if I follow my function getting closer and closer to 0, I think that my y value is also getting closer to 0. A little messy looking 0 there. A little more notation here. This little symbol plus or minus in the upper right, that means I'm coming from this side. So this is asking what is the limit as x approaches -2 from the negative side. All right, so here again is -2. I'm coming from the negative side. That means I'm coming from this side. What y value am I approaching? Well, it still is 2. All right, if I approach 2 from the positive side, that means I'm coming in this direction on my function. That's a bad looking arrow there. Here I'm traveling in this direction, my function, my y value is still 2. All right, not too bad. Let's look at a few more examples. So this is the same function. I'm just asking a few more limits here. So this says, what is the limit as x approaches infinity of this function? So approaching infinity in the x direction, right? I'm going off the page in this direction. This is x going towards infinity. What y value am I approaching? Well, there seems to be an asymptote here at the y value of 1. So I am approaching 1. That's it. Now, this is an example of some value that I'm getting infinitely close to 1, but I'm never actually going to get there. So sometimes you never actually arrive at the value, but yeah, that's what a limit is. I'm still getting infinitely close. If I follow x in the negative direction towards negative infinity, going this way off the page, what y value am I approaching? Well, it is still 1. All right. A couple more here. This says, as x approaches -1 from the negative side, so here is -1, I'm approaching it from the negative side. I'm trying to get to -1. What is my y value approaching? Well, in this case, it looks like my y value is getting greater and greater and greater. My y value is actually going up to infinity. So this is a special case. If you do not approach a number, we say that the limit does not exist. I'm going to write DNE. That stands for does not exist. And if the limit does not exist, you need to say why. In this case, the limit does not exist because I'm approaching infinity, right? I'm not approaching a single number. I'm going to infinity. All right, here I'm asking what is the limit as x approaches -1 from the positive side? Well, here's -1. I'm trying to get there from the positive side, and I think you can see that my y value is approaching -infinity. And you guessed it, the limit does not exist. Again, DNE stands for does not exist. And that means that I'm not approaching a single value. In this case, I'm approaching -infinity. In this other case, I'm approaching positive infinity. So if you tell me that the limit does not exist, you should say why. You're approaching positive infinity in this case, or negative infinity in the second case. All right, let's do a couple more. So here I have a piecewise function, but really no big deal. I'm just asking a few more limits. So what is the limit as x approaches positive infinity? Again, I'm going off the page in this direction. And I think you can see that my function, this piece of the function is decreasing, getting lower and lower and lower. My y value looks like it's going towards -infinity. Again, I'm going to put does not exist. All right. If I'm trying to get to -infinity in the x direction, that means I'm following this piece of the function. Now it looks like my y value is approaching positive infinity. Again, the limit does not exist. Let's do a few more. I'm trying to get to the x value 4, Where's the x value 4? It's right here. Now you can see that my function has a hole in it. There's a little removable discontinuity there, but that doesn't matter. A limit is what am I getting close to? So as I approach this from both sides, it looks like I am getting close to the y value -1. Again, a limit is the value that you're getting close to. I know my function does not exist here at 4, but that doesn't matter. I'm getting close to the y value of -1. All right, a few more. What is the limit as x approaches 2 from the negative side? Well, here is the x value 2, and I'm approaching it from the negative side. You can see that my y value is getting close to -1. If I approach 2 from the positive side, that means I'm coming in this direction, and I'm trying to get to 2, and I'm following my function from the positive side. My y value is 0. And last one here, this says, what is the limit as x approaches 2 from both sides? No little plus or minus. So I'm trying to get to 2 from both sides. And I think you'll agree that I'm not approaching a single value there. Right? I'm approaching 2 different values. So this is another case where the limit does not exist. And the reason that the limit does not exist in this case is because the left side does not equal the right side. So again, if you say does not exist, you need to give a reason, and this reason is the left side does not equal the right side. And really, you only have 2 reasons in why a limit might not exist, and that is because the left does not equal the right, as in this piecewise function, or perhaps you're approaching positive or negative infinity. So that's all there is to limits graphically, and thanks so much for watching.